What's up everyone, welcome to NTWANfc. In today's video we're going to review the new update in eFootball, and as you can see here, the new campaign, the collaboration with Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami is releasing some new cards, and of course we have the Ballon d'Or celebration and a new pack here. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Collaboration campaign, as you can see, you can get 350 coin over the next 2 weeks here, and if you want the last 200, then you cannot miss a single day of login, so make sure you log in every day to get all these rewards. You get a free Neymar here card, we're gonna see it, but the big pack of this midweek update here, it is the Ballon d'Or celebration here. Ousmane Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or in front of Lamine Yamal, and as you can see, he gets this special card here, special design with Ballon d'Or, 2 skills here, momentum, dribbling, and a visionary pass. Quite interesting, but no phenomenal finishing, so perhaps a little bit disappointing here. It would have been a little more interesting to have phenomenal finishing and perhaps momentum, dribbling, or visionary pass, but it seems he's missing, that finishing component for him to be really a top striker. But let's look at him nevertheless here. 87 rated. The booster doesn't give him any more level. 34 levels here that you can improve. Ousmane Dembele, he had a big time card not so long ago that would go all the way up to 103. This one in the team, he's gonna go, I think, to 106, so he's going to be a little bit better than the other one. Let's have a look here at the booster. He's getting hard worker, so hard worker, usually it is for the defenders. I would say, for the second booster, go with striker instinct. And it's interesting that they gave him that. And if you've been watching the season, the football season, and especially PSG and Dembele, then you know that perhaps hard worker is actually something that matches what he's been doing. He's been playing very much as a false nine, being very defensive, coming back, sort of sacrificing himself for the good of the team, to be putting the pressure on the opposite defense, and as a result, perhaps he scores a little less than other strikers, but he manages to disrupt the build-up of the other team a lot by his very, very hard pressing, and it makes sense that they would give him hard work. Let's look at the skills now. He's got the following: scissor feint, double touch, chop turn, cut behind and turn, soul control, momentum dribbling, long range curler, one-time shot, through passing, and visionary pass. Alright, so right off the bat, you can see you need to give him flip flap here. He's got the chop turn and soul control. With flip flap, he gets the double touch level 3. What else? You should give him, of course, a long range shooting. You should also give him acrobatic finishing. And what else? He needs to get one touch pass. And that's already 4 of them here. And for the final one, it's sort of up to you. I would probably go with, a shooting skill could perhaps be good for him. Or maybe, you want this guy to be on your bench and you give him a super sub. But he seems to be a pretty decent card here. Let's have a quick look at the heat map. We didn't do that. As you can see here, he can play pretty much everywhere in the front of the attack. If you give him a position token, then he can also play as a second striker here. A pretty decent card here for Dembele. And the next one is the one who lost this Ballon d'Or, the other finalist. It was Lamine Yamal, not getting the prize this year, but of course he's very young. He's gonna have chances, and perhaps next year he's going to be the one who's gonna get it. As you can see here, 2 player skills for him: momentum, dribbling, and edge crossing. So, just like Dembele got the big time card a few months ago, Yamin Lamal, he also got one, and he had the blitz curler, and this time he doesn't get the blitz curler. He doesn't get phenomenal finishing either. Both of them momentum dribbling, and here it is hedge crossing for Lamine Yamal, and he's a cross specialist as is player ID here. Let's have a look here. 87 rated with the booster. And he can play, also on the left wing. If you give him a position, he can play striker and secondary striker. If you give him position. So, I would say that if you have the Dembele, the big time Dembele and big time Yamal, then you do not need to get these guys. These guys, I would say they're a little bit inferior when it comes to Yamal here, cross specialist. I don't think that he's all that great. His lofted pass here, as you can see, only 77. He's gonna get somewhere in the 80s once he's fully leveled up. And that is not going to be nearly as good as a blitz curler. And for Dembele, sort of the same thing. Perhaps Dembele, the new Dembele here is a little bit better than the older Dembele, but this new Yamal here, I don't think he is actually better than the previous Yamal. All right, let's look at the booster here. He's got technique as the first one. Second one, you can go with any of the offensive booster, I think. Whether it is striker instinct, whether technique, ball carrying, shooting could also be good. Fantasista could be a very good one for him too. Let's have a look at the player skills now. He's got double touch, flip flap, Marseille turn, soul control, momentum dribbling, long range curler, through passing, pinpoint crossing, edge crossing, outside curler. So he's got all the dribbling skills that you could want. He's got pretty much all the passing skills that you could want. Perhaps you should give him a weighted pass and the low lofted pass if you want him to have absolutely all the passing skills. And then I would say, one touch pass so that he can play one touch football. Long range shooting could be good. And of course, acrobatic finishing as usual, all your offensive players need to have it, but it's sort of an enigma here. It is Yamal. Are you going to play him as a crossing specialist? And if so, should you play him on the right side or on the left side? He can do the outside curler, so perhaps he can cross with the outside of the foot. But no matter what, I think Yamal is more the kind of player you want to cut inside and then do the curler. And that's why the blitz curler Yamal, he was so effective, so good. And I don't think if you have the blitz curler Yamal, you need to get for this one. All right, the last one here, it's Vitinha. And Vitinha got phenomenal pass as a player skill here. Let's have a look at this card. He can play, everywhere in the center mid. Orchestrator, 87 rated defensive mid, 35 levels. Vitinha, a little bit on the smaller size, 172. He's a little bit like a Pirlo kind of player. Let's have a look here at the booster ball protection on this first one. For the second booster, you can probably go with ball carrying or passing technique or, any of the defensive boosters also, because he's a little light in terms of defense. Probably a good candidate for a random booster here, sort of whatever you get, as long as he's not the booster for the goalkeeper, then he's probably be doing well. So let's see here the player skills. He's got double touch, soul control, a long range curler, long range shooting, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, outside curler, phenomenal pass, interception. So you can give him flip flap. He will get the double touch level 3. Then for sure you're going to need to give him the skills that you need to give to the midfielders. That is man marking. He's got interception. You can probably give him a blocker and sliding tackle if you want to make him a little more defensive. He's got one touch pass, so that's good. You can probably give him, either or both acrobatic finishing and acrobatic clearance. What else could he use? He's got through passing, so that's good. Yeah, that is pretty much it. The one that would make sure to give him would be man marking. This is the one, being in the midfield as a DMF without man marking, it would be very, very problematic. But the rest is up to you, whether you want him to be more defensive or more offensive, or if you're going to have someone behind him, like a right card or something like that, then you can, focus on making him a more offensive, more passing player. But if he's going to be your DMF, your sole DMF, then definitely, give him also blocker and sliding tackle. So that is it for the Ballon d'Or, the World Player of the Year, because Konami doesn't have the license. These new players, quite interesting here. Let's have a look here at the rest of the packs, the player packs that have been added here. So we get the Brazilian League, Showtime Pack, J-League MVPs, as we often have. Not the most interesting, we don't really need to cover these. We have 2 Player of the Week pack. We get the European Player of the Week here. Let's see, Van Dijk, Martinelli, Rodrigo, Foden, Marquinhos, Adeyemi, Marcus Thuram, Rashford. We have a lot of very, very good players here in this one. Marcus Rashford, of course, scoring 2 goals. Sort of a revival of Rashford here in Barcelona. I wasn't exactly sure that he was, gonna succeed at Barcelona. I mean, it's pretty early to say whether he succeeded or not. It's just one game, but at first when he arrived at Barcelona, I was like, okay, this guy doesn't really have the technique necessary to play the kind of possession of football that Barcelona is playing. But it seems perhaps now he's getting a little bit more in the rhythm, and he's played a very good game here in the Champions League. We'll see if it continues or not. The word in the beginning was that the Barcelona staff, they weren't really that pleased with Rashford because of his lack of technical ability. But perhaps now they're going to realize, okay, they can use his physical ability, his speed, to use him in ways that he can be impactful in the game without disrupting the flow of the game for Barcelona. So a lot of good players here, I think, in this selection. If you're going to get one of a free chance here to get one of these guys, you definitely have a chance. As long as you don't get these 2, at the end here, you're going to get a pretty decent player. Let's have a look now at the league players of the week here. So we have Christian Pulisic getting a 96 rated card here. Let's see, Gravenberch, Bruno Fernandes, Militao scoring an incredible goal from long range for Real Madrid. Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati in Monaco now, leaving Barcelona, and he's getting his football back, now that he has left Barcelona. It's kind of strange, you'd think Ansu Fati leaving Barcelona, they replace him with Marcus Rashford, and now Ansu Fati, he seems that he's going to be doing pretty decent playing for Monaco here. We'll have to keep track on that, whether it was a good operation or not for Barcelona to do what they did. So yeah, a decent player of the week, but I think the European player of the week pack is better. If you were gonna spin for one of these 2, I would recommend spinning for this European one than the other one. And the last one here, it is the Yu-Gi-Oh collaboration here, and we have this France themed Yu-Gi-Oh pack here with Mbappe, Maignan, Koundé, Zaire Emery, and Saliba. it's kind of disappointing because it's always the same player that Konami is releasing for free in these sort of collaborations. So Mbappe, we've had like 10 cards of Mbappe. We have a bunch of cards of Mignon. Same thing with Koundé. Same thing with Saliba. I think perhaps Zaire Emery is the only one that hasn't had multiple highlight cards here. But he has had a few. There was a Showtime card with Zaire Emery a while back. But yeah, if you starting the game now, then you get a chance to get five pretty decent players, and they're all going to be playing in the same team. So for the national team event, it's going to be quite useful. So that is it in terms of the packs that have been added, the player packs here. We're going to have a look now at the events, or let's look at the campaigns here. So this collaboration here with Yu-Gi-Oh, you can get some banners, some avatars. You can get, I think, also some elements of the stadium. There's still the 900 million download campaign that's going on. And the player of the week, now they have this new thing. If you essentially open 4 of the chance deals, then you can get a free selection contract for the player of the week. I don't think it's that great value because ultimately these players, they're decent, but they're not all that great. So what is there? Also, there is the event, of course, that are going to be happening now this weekend, this Barcelona club event. Let's have a look here. This has not started yet. It's going to be starting now, later, I guess, today. And, you can try to rank high and qualify yourself for the world event that will be taking place 1 year from now in like July 2026. But this is the first club event that will allow you to qualify for the World Championship of eFootball. Let's see now the events here, the AI event. So the first one here, as you can see, you can get props here. If you go through all of these, there is 20,000 points that you need to get. You get a random booster token in the end, and you can get this giant props that you can put on your custom stadium. The other one here, and you have 27 days, so quite a few days here to do that. You can also get a banner here. Let's see what else. Of course, this European Club Championship here, you can get the chance deal, and you need to do 3,000 points. So a couple of games if you win both. And same thing here for the Italian club. So you can get these 2 chance deal for the player of the week and the European player of the week. And then when it comes to the PvP section here, it is Italian clubs that is going to be the theme of this week. So that is it for this new update here in eFootball. We have this new Dembele Ballon d'Or pack. We'll see exactly. I'm gonna spin 1 or 2 packs to see if I get him. If I don't get him, I'm not really gonna sweat it, especially because I already have the big time versions of both Dembele and Yamal. So I don't think that if you have those, that it's really necessary to get this new version. But a decent pack, a decent collab now. But we're still waiting, for these big, epic players, these new legends. We want to see some new players added in the game. It seems like now Konami is there just, bringing back some old cards, and it's sort of like every 3 months you have the same cards that are coming out over and over again. And what's the point, really? Once you have collected all those players, then you don't necessarily want to be spending quite a lot of money, because it adds up when you, especially if you have to go deep in the packs. But, to get a player that's just going to have a point or two more than the previous one that you already have, I think at this point, Konami needs to renew their content and improve the gameplay, and also add some new game modes, because the game is sort of becoming a little bit too repetitive, and it's just like a grind that doesn't really reward you. And now, of course, there's some new games, EAFC being released now. So Konami have to step their game up. Anyway, guys, that's it for our review of this update. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.
Hit me with that like, and sub to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell. Click that bit, alright. The algo recommends, for she gon' like. The algo knows you well. Hit me with that like, subscribe to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell.